we rocking? Rocking and rolling.
We officially have bumper music now.
Bumper music.
Bumper music is what that's called.
That's right. How are you guys doing?
And that's a song called Dark Magic, which was just released today by Sammy Gardner. Go on to YouTube, Spotify, take a look. It's awesome. SAMI Gardner, Gardner.
We are hyping up our daughter, who has just released her second single.
Yep, just released her
Very
second.
talented 19-year-old musician. So you guys go follow her, Sammy Gardner, on Spotify. All right.
And it's our official bumper music. Anyway,
Yes.
okay.
Welcome. As
welcome.
you do our introduction, I will share these to our different socials.
All right. How's everyone doing? So my name is John Gardner. This is my wife and law partner.
Hello.
Madeline Mendoza. And we are the immigration law firm Gardner and Mendoza, celebrating our 25th year this year. So we are excited, having a celebration, and we're coming to you live on Facebook. And we also are going to be live here on TikTok. We are live on TikTok. So hello to everyone who's out there in TikTok. We come here every Wednesday night from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and we give you immigration updates, things that are going on, keep you abreast of changes in the law, the vibe, things you need to know, things to be careful about. And most importantly, we like to answer your questions. So if you have any questions, get them posted, and we will absolutely get to them and try to answer them. I will warn you that what we do here is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not legal advice. And the reason it's not legal advice is because we're just getting a snippet of information from you. It's not enough for us to fully analyze your case and give you legal advice. If you want legal advice, we're happy to give it to you once you become a client of ours.
That is correct. Yeah. So it is October 1st.
It is October 1st.
Now that is distracting, but it is not the camera.
No, I know. So,
but we do have comments. So
right. So you're going to see me looking away a bit from time to time, probably a lot. That is just my monitoring the TikTok comments and questions because they're on a different screen. All right. So
it's definitely a much better setup.
Well, it still is better than the phone system that we were using before.
We used for such a long time period.
Where they were scrolling along so quickly that we couldn't keep track of them. We take the questions in the order they come in. So sooner you get your question in, the more likely it is that we will get to it. All right.
Yeah. And I mentioned that it's October 1st because it is our actually anniversary month. John and I we're getting ready to celebrate our 27th wedding anniversary. So hit it.
Oh, wait a second.
John's in charge of the sounds because we have sounds because we
That's
are
right.
in the creator studio here.
I already forgot.
On TikTok. No, it's
okay.
Okay, I'll say that again. We are getting ready to celebrate our 27th wedding anniversary.
Nice.
So, and also our 25th law firm anniversary. We started the law firm of Gardner and Mendoza 25 years ago, October of 2000. So that is kind of crazy and amazing that we've been in business for that long. We have an amazing team. We're getting ready to have an employee appreciation day on October 11th, where all of our team will be coming together and celebrating. We're going to go to an amazing dinner and go bowling. That's what the team wanted to do. So we're very proud of just being in business for 25 years and being able to help so many people. And also just, right, like not everybody stays married for 25 years. So we should be really proud of ourselves for doing that. And we have 3 amazing daughters. Thank you, Maricel, for congratulating us. We have 3 beautiful daughters. And everybody complains, right? No matter how good you have it, we have it pretty good. We're very fortunate. And as I talk about this, I'm thinking, okay, stop complaining. Like it's okay. But the other thing is that we wouldn't be here without our clients, the community, you all, we started doing live streams in 2020. Is that right? 2020?
2020 is when
Yeah.
we started this whole thing, and that was when COVID was going on. The very first few times that we did it, it was to just keep the community abreast of what was going on with all the changing COVID orders, and no one can
Yeah.
get out of their houses. And so we decided, hey, we'll reach our community by doing these Zooms.
So it's been really great. We took a little bit of a break, and we're back. We've been back now since the beginning of the year, because there are, like COVID, there are a lot of updates when it comes to immigration. So it's October. Happy October. This is a very special year for us, for our law firm, because we are celebrating our 25th anniversary all year long. And we really appreciate you all coming to our live streams, supporting our live streams, and asking the great immigration questions. And we get the opportunity to answer them, not just for you, but for everyone else who's listening and who can be helped and benefit from the answer to that. And also, the October Visa Bulletin is out. Let's go ahead and just segue into that update. And one thing that is really great about the October Visa Bulletin is that there have been some, modest movements, forward movements in employment-based categories, as as well as in F2A. So there is forward movement there. But the other thing is that you can, if you're here in the United States and you've been waiting to file for adjustment of status in the employment-based category, you can use the dates for filing now, and the cutoff dates are going to be sooner than the final action date. So check out the Visa Bulletin and make sure that you're taking a look at your priority date and seeing if there is any forward movement. If it's forward movement in your particular preference category and your loved one is abroad, then you will be hearing from National Visa Center as well. So just make sure that you're on top of your emails and the notifications. And if you need help, of course, with consular processing or with adjustment of status, we are here for you. It is what we do. It's what we've been doing since October of 2025 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow.
Yeah. And, I'm sure all of you have been, following the news, following immigration for the last, 8-9 months. And you know that it's been tough. And, we've kind of gone through, I think most immigration lawyers have sort of been going through all the stages, those stages of grief that you go through. And I'll tell you, we just are at a point right now where we are just figuring out how to navigate it. We're not upset about it. We're not complaining about it. What we're doing is just navigating the terrain as it is and still bringing success for our clients. And we're doing it every single day. We're still getting approval notices. We're still getting naturalizations, cases going through. So
of course,
if you're feeling like you're in despair because you just keep seeing all these crazy things on the news, call us. All right. Because we know how to navigate this terrain right now. We are on it 100%.
Yes. And I will say that as chair of the USCIS liaison to the Norfolk USCIS office here in our area, as a liaison member, and this is where the committee and I were the intermediary between American Immigration Lawyers Association members, which we are members of the AILA, and the Norfolk field office. So we are seeing a lot of notices where the client's not necessarily getting the notice, the interview notice or notice to appear in the immigration office, whether it's for biometrics, whether it's for an interview. So that's something to think about. If you don't receive a notice for an interview and you don't appear at the interview, then your case is going to get denied. And so we are seeing those types of cases, not just with us, but just all across. I'm on a listserv, and these are some of the repeating issues that we're seeing. And we don't know why that's happening, because I am observing that it is a little bit more often than normal. I've been on this committee for many years. And so be careful, be alert. I mean, there's nothing that you can do when they say, hey, you didn't go to your interview, your case is denied, other than make sure you respond in a timely manner and have your attorney or have us reach out to the immigration office. Okay, you made a mistake and we need to get these interviews back on track. And so there is a process for that. And if that happens to you and you don't have an immigration attorney, I'll back up 1 second here. You should have an immigration attorney, but you already know that. Get an immigration attorney to help you with that. That's very technical in order to get that back on track. Okay. So what questions do we have today?
Well, we've got a lot of questions already coming into TikTok. And so I guess we'll start with the very first one that came in. Someone wanted to know if somebody who is on welfare can still help someone obtain a green card. So I guess the question is whether they can still be a petitioner even though they are
on welfare. Yeah, so you will still be able to petition. Let's just say this is a spouse. So you're a U.S. citizen. You, as a U.S. citizen, you're eligible to get these government benefits, welfare, as you say, and you can still petition your spouse if that's what we're talking about, or your family member, or if you're a U.S. citizen, the categories of family members in which you can petition. Yes, you are able to petition for them, even if you are on welfare. What that means is you can file the I-130 petition. You have to show the relationship. You have to show that you are a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident. Okay. And that's the first step. That's USCIS is not looking at whether you're on welfare. USCIS in this stage is not looking at your tax return to see if you meet the requirements for the affidavit of support. That is in later steps. So if you're doing an adjustment of status, for example, it all has to be filed concurrently all together. If you are doing National Visa Center processing, consular processing, your loved one is outside of the United States, then that comes in stages, and the affidavit of support comes in the later stages. And when I say the affidavit of support, as the petitioner, you have to sign off on the affidavit of support, which basically states that if your family member, the foreign national family member, goes on any type of means-tested government benefits, then you are responsible for paying the government back. And they use a chart, and they go from household size and how much you should be making in your annual income. And so if you are on welfare, that doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to be able to meet the financial requirements at the affidavit of support stage. So make sure that once you start this process, again, we will beat this drum, right? We're going to just beat this drum until you guys are you're tired of hearing it, but you need to go and come make an appointment with us. And we will talk to you and walk you through this and make sure that you are, when you file your case, you're going to be fine. And if there is an issue with income, then there is a remedy for that. And that is to get a joint sponsor for the case. So another person who is either a lawful permanent resident or a U.S. citizen who is able and willing to sign this affidavit of support on behalf of your family member. Sometimes it's the parent of your family member. Sometimes it's a sibling. Sometimes it's an employer. And so all is not lost if you cannot meet the income requirements of the affidavit of support. And I will just say here, if you are receiving government benefits, that doesn't necessarily mean you don't meet the financial requirements. It was a long answer.
It was a great answer.
Thank you.
It's great information.
Thank you so much. John's being nice to me, especially nice since our anniversary is on Friday. He's always nice. I'm just kidding. This is the entertain. Did you tell them that we're entertaining?
Absolutely.
Entertaining them? Look, you were able to pin this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got it.
Okay, guys, we're having fun today because it's October 1st. And we went out to the beach right before this live stream, and it is freezing out there. And I believe it is because of the Hurricane Umberto, I believe.
Yeah, we have one of our kids is crazy and puts on a wetsuit and goes in a crazy cold water and surfs, even when it's freezing out.
Yes, and John and I were sitting there freezing, and I couldn't actually. I was like, I'm going to go back and set up the lights in the live stream. You stay here. It was fun though.
Okay, so next question we have up here on TikTok, and this is a question that we get every week. Here's
I'm
tonight's
not. I
version.
can't see over there. I can't
Yeah.
see all the way over there. So I am locked in.
Yeah, you're locked in.
I'm locked in.
Well, Estefania wants to know, is it safe to travel right now for someone who has a green card? This
Great
is
question.
the travel question.
Great question. It is
We always get-
8:19.
Yeah,
It's
we always
8:19. Please remember this timestamp.
We get a lot of travel questions, so if you have a travel question,
Here's the answer.
Yep.
Here's the answer. And we haven't actually answered this question in a couple of weeks. Last week we were not here on our beloved live stream because we were doing a webinar on how to apply for U.S. citizenship and how to apply before the test gets harder, which is going to happen on October 20th. And if you would like a replay of that video, just send us a message and we will send you that replay of the video. So it was an hour. You know, you're probably thinking, wow, an hour about U.S. citizenship. Yes, an hour about U.S. citizenship. It is chock full of great, helpful information that is hopefully going to get you through the finish line and hopefully before October 20th. And you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, it's October 1st. That's it, only in 19 days. We can do it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have your hangups. We can do it for you. We're not going to procrastinate.
Yeah. And come on, folks, this is important. I mean, you spend at least an hour on TikTok every day, right? Especially those of you on TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Check your screen time. Okay. So is it safe to travel as a lawful permanent resident right now? We have heard all the stories. We have seen all of the videos of lawful permanent residents getting detained when they're coming back from trips abroad. And they have traveled many times before, no problem. They're coming back in and they are possibly getting detained, whether it's getting detained and jailed or getting detained in secondary inspection for numerous hours. And that has actually happened to one of our former client's daughter. And I've spoken about that. But yes, it is generally safe for lawful permanent residents to travel outside of the United States and be able to come back in. But we want you to do a multiple point check, right?
Yes.
So we want you to ask the following questions. Have I ever been arrested? And is that resolved? And what was the arrest? And what happened? Right? Did you get charged? Were you found not guilty? Do you have the certified disposition? So if you've been arrested before or charged with something, even if you were not arrested, you were charged with something and it was dismissed, you were charged with something and you were convicted, that's a red flag, but it doesn't mean that you can't travel just because you've been arrested or have been charged with something. Okay. But these are just, ask yourself these questions.
That's something that requires a deeper look.
A deeper look. Let's say you got a reckless driving ticket and it was charged as a class 1 misdemeanor and it was reduced to speeding. So it's no longer a class 1 misdemeanor and you paid what's the fine typically? Couple $100 fine.
I mean, for reckless, yeah.
For speeding, yeah. And it was reduced, and it's reduced to an infraction, and that's the only thing you have. And we haven't gotten to the other bullet points yet. You're probably going to be okay to travel outside the United States and come back in. We would highly recommend that you carry your certified disposition with you, because if it pops up on their end, it's like, oh wow, you got a misdemeanor. That's you could be jailed for up to 12 months. That's bad. So we're gonna put you in secondary and make sure that this is okay, and you're gonna sit here until we can get to you. Have your certified disposition to show that it was reduced to a speeding ticket and you paid your fines, right? Just cover yourself and make sure you're prepared. So that's the first thing. Any arrest, any charges or anything like that. You want to do the second one?
Well, I just wanted to also just to be careful. I mean, something that was reduced. Be careful too with things that, like, say you had a marijuana conviction and maybe it was dismissed after you did some sort of a drug counseling class or something of that nature, or maybe a domestic assault and battery where you were arrested and then all of you showed up for court. You told the judge that you guys had all worked it out and, you know, the charges got dropped. These are still things that are dangerous because in your mind, they look like something that you were charged with but never convicted of, or it was dismissed. But if you had to do something like anger management classes or drug counseling, this can still be considered a conviction for immigration purposes. And so that's a situation where we're going to want to take a deeper look and see exactly what happened there.
Yeah. Great point. I will just make that bullet point number 2. And that is drugs, any kind of drugs, and theft, any type of theft crimes or things that might be considered to be a crime of moral turpitude. So drugs and theft. Again, you have a misdemeanor for theft. What happened to that case? When did you do it? Was it right when you became a lawful permanent resident? That's going to be a problem, perhaps. So be really careful about those things. I will mention, we talked about drugs, but we're going to specifically talk about marijuana and marijuana convictions. Decriminalized in many states, but still a problem under federal law. So this is bad one, guys. This is a bad one because you think it's done. You think it's all over. The marijuana cigarette conviction is gone now because you did the what's it called, the first offender
yes program. Yep.
But for immigration purposes, it could still be a problem. I'm not trying to scare you. We are not trying to scare you. We just want you to be informed. So be careful with marijuana. It is still illegal to have marijuana, to possess it, to smoke it under federal law. And you are a lawful permanent resident. So you are still under federal law when it comes to, well, everything, but specifically when it comes to this, U.S. citizens can smoke marijuana, no problem. If I smoke marijuana, left the United States, came back in, I am not inadmissible because of a marijuana cigarette conviction. I can come in, but lawful permanent residents, you will have a problem. We have had a case like this. It was a terrible ordeal when our client, who was a college student at the time, was arrested, mandatory detention, and stayed in jail until we were able to win his case in removal court. And it was a great day and we were the heroes, but it was still pretty awful for him to sit in jail for 4 months while this was all happening. Okay.
And what makes this even more confusing is that there are some criminal convictions that do not make you removable. So you have a green card and you have this conviction, you can't be deported for it. But once you leave and you come back in, you can be inadmissible because of it. So the rules change once you've left. And now you're coming back in. There's a different set of rules that apply to folks that are knocking on the door coming in than apply to the folks who are inside the borders of the United States. So
absolutely.
So if you have criminal conviction, what to summarize,
we're not done yet either.
If you have a criminal conviction or anything that was an arrest or anything dealing with crime, that's something that that's red flag, pause. Let me consult with a professional about this before I book that flight to wherever.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Moving on from criminal convictions.
Right. And then the other, I believe we're on the 4th thing or the 5th thing, but the other thing is your travel outside of the United States and staying outside of the United States. Have you at any point in time abandoned your green card or done things to that might look like you've abandoned your lawful permanent residency, like staying out for more than a year or staying out for even more than 6 months, not having a re-entry permit to come back in, doing this multiple times during your permanent residency here in the United States? Have you done that? Have you been going in and out? And will it look like something where you abandoned this because you stayed outside of the United States for 1 year and 1 day on 3 years ago? So be careful with that. And then finally, this is this one, this is this is tough because you may not know, or maybe it was such a long time ago, but is there any type of fraud that occurred when you got your green card? Was there any type of fraud that you committed when you got your green? And these are a lot harder, of course, to detect. But it's something to ask yourself, right? I did speak with someone recently about traveling, and we went over all these. The last one was fraud. There was something there, and I said, look, you need to make that decision on your own. I can't tell you, right? I mean, it's unlikely that this is something that's going to come up when you're coming back into the United States, but fraud, any type of fraud that you may have committed in getting the green card, that could also be a potential issue for coming back into the United States. So I believe that we've covered them all. What do you think? Did we miss any?
No, but you did jog my memory that when we were talking about the crimes that are more serious to be concerned about, like drugs, for example, having practiced criminal defense for many, many years in the immigration space, I didn't like any kind of fraud. Fraud and misrepresentation charges are also always a troubling thing in immigration context. So if you've misrepresented something, you were charged with fraud, you really need to consult with a professional before you make any move on that.
Right. And I will pitch our services. We do waivers. We handle people who have made misrepresentations, of course, when they're applying for lawful permanent residency here in the United States through an adjustment of status, and even when you're abroad, we filed many waivers. So successfully. Now, we can't guarantee success. We're not allowed to do that, but we have a very, very high success rate when it comes to waivers, stateside waivers, as well as waivers when people are abroad. So
I wish the Virginia State Bar would allow us to publicize our success rate, because it'd be great for us to do that.
Well, I think we can. I think we can, but we can say these do not guarantee results. These outcomes do not guarantee results. All right.
So we got a couple of things. Teresa, by the way, would like the link to the webinar.
Teresa, we will get you that link to the webinar. We shall put it. We'll send it to you through Messenger, or just put it right in the comment here when we're done. All right. So
Ryan had the first question.
All right. Let's put this up
on Facebook.
All right. Ryan Ace. This is a beautiful background, wherever you might be there. Ryan's question is it okay for naturalization if I have a car accident, not a DUI? Yes. If there's no, people get into car accidents, you probably didn't get a ticket. Maybe you got a ticket that's a failure to yield, whatever. But that alone is not going to prevent you from having a successful naturalization case and ultimately swearing in to become a U.S. citizen. But this is a really great segue into what we talked about at our webinar last week. And that is just, you can talk about this a little bit, the holistic approach that USCIS is taking when looking at naturalization cases.
Yeah, USCIS is just requiring now that you bring more to the table. It used to be that you just had to show that you didn't have certain things going against you. They're now going to be wanting you to also show, that you're a really great person, that you're active with your church or with your school or the PTA. They may go out to your neighborhood and talk to your neighbors and ask what kind of a neighbor you are, and whether you put your dog's trash in the neighbor's trash bins or whether you only put it in your own trash bins, that kind of thing.
Is that a pet peeve?
Am I revealing one of my pet peeves?
Yeah, like that neighbor, I don't think he should become a U.S. citizen because he put his dog's poop bag in my trash can.
Yeah, so they come and ask me, is this guy, should he become a citizen? And I'm like, no. No, he keeps dumping stuff in my trash bin.
We don't know what that's going to look like. I mean, we don't know what the questions are, but I mean, it's a conversation, right?
Yeah, this is all rolling out now, and it's just it's getting harder is what it really all means. And on October 20th, the actual test is going to get harder. So instead of there being 100 questions that you're going to have to know the answers to, potentially, it's going to be 128. So if you haven't filed yet and you wait till October 20th, then you just got yourself 28 more questions that you're going to need to know the answer to for the test. And you're going to have to there are going to be 20 questions instead of 10. And you're going to have to get 10 of them correct instead of
12 of them.
12, excuse me. So you have to get on this, you know what I'm saying? Because it's getting harder.
It's going to get harder.
It's getting harder.
And I bet you some of you out there, you actually have the N400 application completed. You're just waiting for whatever reason. So it's not too late to file before October 20th. And I believe we still have time. It's October 1st. I believe that we still have time to help you if you would like representation. And many of you have procrastinated in filing the application just in case, right? Like, why would I put my information out there just in case? I mean, I'm pretty sure I halfway complete this application. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be fine. But for whatever reason, you've set it aside. There's something in the back of your mind, like you've set it aside. And that's where we can come in, right? We can make you feel safe when you're applying for U.S. citizenship. And what I mean is we will go through your whole immigration history. And one of the things that we do is make sure that you should file this N400 application, right? There are many people out there who really shouldn't be filing an N400 application. And when we say that, we mean that not only will this case probably get denied, but going an extra step, they may get put into removal proceedings, right? So that is where we come in and bridge that gap for you, because we are going to, number one, file that case for you. And number two, if we can't file the case for you because you shouldn't file the case, it's going to get you in hot water, then you're going to know that. And don't you want to know that instead of just filing and thinking everything is okay and then something happens? Denial is fine. You can always refile. The real fear is, oh my gosh, I got my green card. I didn't say X, Y, and Z. I really should have got my green card. I'm just going to file for naturalization anyway. You could really risk losing your green card. So anyhow, we are here. We are here for you.
Not to pile on, but the procrastination has already cost a lot of you. I mean, if you were taking the test tomorrow, you got 100 questions, you're going to be asked 10 of them, and you got to get 6 of them right.
Yep.
After October 20th, there'll be 128 questions. They're going to select 20 of them, and you got to get 12 of them correct. Wouldn't you rather take the earlier test? I know I certainly would.
All right. You guys know what to do. You know what to do. All right. Next question.
Next question.
You get John and me on the Nats train.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, when we opened this tonight, I said that, we've been trying to tell people to look, we're going to deal with it as it is, and we're going to navigate the current environment that we're in, and we're going to find a way to make it work. And we were warning people it's going to get harder. So if you're just trying to hold out for a few months because you think it's going to change, it's not. All right. So it's getting harder now. I would not be surprised if it gets harder yet again down the road. So, the longer you wait, you're just putting yourself in a more difficult situation.
And we are ready for whatever comes. We are ready. Okay.
All
so you got a question there, and then we'll go here.
Now I have a question here. I have actually now we have 85 questions queued up in TikTok right now.
Let's go. We are going to speed answer. We're not going to talk anymore. There's no more discussion. Let's just go. Rapid fire.
All right. Question here is, hi, I have an interview in 3 weeks, but I lost my passport. It takes 2 months to replace. What do I do?
What kind of interview?
Doesn't say.
Okay. You go to your interview. You lost your passport. It's okay. Go to your interview without your passport. It's okay. Tell them that you lost it. You may have to, depending on, what type of interview it is, you may have to sign a form that says, I lost my passport. Usually they do that with permanent resident cards for naturalization cases, but it's okay if you don't have your passport. Next. Oh, let me get this.
Yeah.
I tried to do rapid fire.
All right.
Okay. We are a little bit more than halfway through here, guys, but I do want to reintroduce us. My name is Radlin Mendoza, and this is my husband and law partner, John Gardner, and we are the co-founders of Gardner Mendoza, a law firm that we started 25 years ago. Nice. When we were just babies. When we were 25.
You still look 25.
No, it's the filter. Oh, I get cheered for that. So our main office is in Virginia Beach, Virginia. That's where our brick and mortar office is. We have an amazing team to help all of you go through the immigration process, and we would love to assist you. You can give us a call if you need help. Tomorrow we open at 9-757-464-9224. And if you want to send us a message, you can send it to info@gmlaw.net. All right. Let's go.
Okay.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
okay.
going to have some questions.
Sorry.
I was reading a comment here.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out what the question was. Some folks leave comments, but there's no real question. I was trying to figure out what their question was.
Okay. Rolian has a question here, and he has a beautiful child. Congratulations. Hi there. Charged with felony and domestic assault, but it was dropped to convicted. Wait. It was dropped to convicted of third-degree assault and misdemeanor 1. It was from there no contest conviction. So that is very specific. We would actually have to take a look at, what state are you in? We would have to take a look at the statute to see exactly the language of the statute. I think the question is probably, am I able to travel on this, or am I able to naturalize with this, assuming you are a lawful permanent resident? So, Mr. Rolian, reach out to us if you'd like us to take a deep dive into that to help you make the next moves. I'm just saying right now, again, need to look at it. I'm not going to say right now. I was going to say right now, I would go ahead and say you should not travel outside of the United States. I will go ahead and say that.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely just don't travel outside the United States until we take a look at that, or someone else takes a look at that, and make sure that you are good to go.
Yeah, these questions get complicated because immigration law is federal law, and criminal law, there is federal criminal law, but there's also state criminal law. And most people, when they come on and have a question about their criminal case, they're talking about a state criminal case. And then what we have to do is we have to take, as Radlin said, we have to take the language of that state statute and see how it fits to the federal statute for the same crime to see how it applies to immigration.
Okay, got a little bit more information here. This is a marriage-based immigration interview is coming by the end of the month. Number one, absolutely have your certified disposition. And I'm not sure where the interview is. Well, let's just assume it is adjustment of status. Yeah, you look, if you're not going to your interview with an immigration attorney, then you really should. And I don't know where you are. This does this look familiar to you as a Virginia?
Felony and domestic dropped to convicted of third-degree assault.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So this is not here in this jurisdiction, but I would absolutely roll in, go
class one misdemeanors.
We have class one. So
third-degree assault, something
yeah.
I don't recognize.
Class 1 misdemeanor typically is no more than 12 months, and again, we don't know how much time you serve. So is this something that could make you inadmissible and not able to get lawful permanent residency? Possibly. And please, we're begging you. You have a newborn. It's probably going to cost you $1,500 to $2,500 for an attorney, immigration attorney, to go to that interview with you and your spouse. Now, beautiful baby that you're holding. You want the best for your family, right? And I know that a reputable immigration attorney who is going to go to that interview with you and make sure that you are protected, that you are not going to get taken away from that interview. I'm not trying to be dramatic. We've all seen it. Please don't go to that interview without, number one, talking to an immigration attorney that can go to that interview with you, and two, have that attorney go with you, pay the money. It's well worth it. You guys who, and Rolian, maybe you actually do have an immigration attorney. If you do, great. You probably don't because you're asking this question, you're here on this live. But to not hire an immigration lawyer because you want to save money is like stepping over $100 bills to go pick up a penny. Does everyone understand that? All right. Not trying to be harsh, but we've been open for 25 years. This is what we do, right? We do this kind of work. Do you need an immigration lawyer to file immigration paperwork? No, you don't. You can self-file it. Many of you do. Some of you, you're fine. Many of you, you're not. But my point is of telling you that we've been in business for 25 years. We have a great team of, there are 14 of us. My point in telling you all this is people come to us, they hire us because they want us to help them with their immigration cases because we are professionals. And reputable immigration attorneys are too. So, Rolian, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but please just say yes that you are, so I will stop talking.
And we do have a fair amount of clients that come to us that started on their own and then ran into trouble.
Yep.
Rex over here wanted to know about 5 years ago, domestic violence charge, safe to travel. Rex, I think we just covered all that, so
Yeah.
you can go back to that. And the next question we had was about whether we do K1 cases and what that entails. So I don't know if you want to hit
Absolutely. K1 fiance visa. We do K1 fiance visas up there on the board. It's one of our top practice areas. Okay. So what does a K1 visa entail? Thank you for asking. Number one, you have to be a U.S. citizen in order to file a fiance visa for your fiance. And the second requirement is you have to have seen your fiance within 2 years of filing that fiance visa petition. So if you've never seen your fiance, you need to go see your fiance. If it's been more than 2 years, you need to go see your fiance. And there are some waivers for that. I have not done a waiver for the waiving the requirement to go see the fiance. One of our other attorneys may have. I don't recall discussing it in the office, but I personally have never done a waiver for that requirement. So let's suffice to say, just go see the fiance, okay? And you need to have proof of that. You need to have proof that you've actually seen your fiance. So those are a couple of the requirements. You have to have the intent to get married to your fiance once your fiance enters the United States, and you have to get married within 90 days. And there are there's lots of documentation that goes along with filing the fiance visa petition. So that is step one, filing the K1. Then there's step two. Once it's approved, it's taking about 9-10 months right now. Once it's approved, it gets sent to the National Visa Center. You pay the bills there, you complete the fee bills there, you complete the DS-160 application, upload documents that are required there. Then your case gets sent over to the third step of this case, which is medical interview. So this is very important, the interview, your fiance being prepared for that interview, making sure that they know what the questions are going to be. And so they're comfortable, so they're not super nervous. We absolutely 100% prepare our fiance visa applicants for the interview. So they go to their interview, they get the visa stamp, usually is issued within a week. They enter the United States. You have to get married within 90 days. And then the last step of this is filing the adjustment of status application. Along with that, your fiance can file a work permit and advance parole, which will allow them to travel outside of the United States while the adjustment of status application is pending. And I am talking very fast right now, so we can get to more questions. But that is in a nutshell the fiance visa process. Once you file that green card application and it gets approved, then your fiance is a lawful permanent resident as of the time that green card gets approved. So it's a very long journey to that point. And when you are looking and you are trying to determine who is the best immigration attorney or service out there, make sure that you are comparing apples to apples, right? Some people come to us and say, gosh, that's really a lot. That you guys charge a lot. And then we look at what other services have charged, and it's just for the fiance visa petition, the very first step. And this is a multiple step process, 4 steps. So hopefully that answers your question. Great one. We love doing fiance visas, and it's one of our main case types. All right. Beth says our favorite lawyers. Thank you,
Beth. My fever lawyers.
Like all right.
And we also had a nice message over here on TikTok from some dear friends.
Oh, dear friends.
Flores family in the house.
Flores family, what are you guys doing? I mean, they just ordered DoorDash, and they are now watching us on TikTok. Love you guys. Yeah. Hope to see you guys on Saturday.
Yeah, these are some very good dear friends of ours. Question over here was interesting. Is it okay to apply for naturalization if I didn't finish my contract to my old employer?
So now we're talking about more civil issues, right? This is not a criminal thing. Maybe you had a contract with your employer and didn't work out, right? Perhaps you broke the contract. Happens every day, happens all the time. In fact, when you're in a state like Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia, it's an at-will state. And so employers and employees can fire, can quit with no reason at all, and can fire you for no reason at all. So if that's the only thing, right? If that's the only thing that you have, number one, it's probably not going to come up during your naturalization interview. That's not really something that comes up. Oh, why did you stop working at X? Did you leave on bad terms? And those are not questions that are asked now at the N400 interview. I mean, they could potentially ask these questions. And when we talk about the way the naturalization cases are going to be administered and adjudicated, I think we're really talking about they're asking the questions. Something comes up. Okay, that's one thing. They ask another question, something comes up. Okay, that's another thing. And then maybe a couple more things come up. A traffic ticket here. You answer, you say, oh yeah, you know what? I do support my dependents, but I just started supporting my dependents. And then you say, oh yes, I do pay my taxes now. I mean, I have a payment plan with the IRS. And these are things that are typically okay, but the immigration officer now may have the leeway to start asking other questions. Okay, well, man, you have a payment plan with IRS. Tell me about your work. Do you have any issues with work? And then you just start talking, right? You just start talking. And that's where I think it can be a slippery slope and can get into a lot of different things. And so it's going to be so much more important for you to have counsel with you at that interview and make sure you have an immigration attorneys like us to file that N400. Even if you're not in the state of Virginia, we can help you wherever you are. And what's going to be important is, again, what you put with that application, right? We want to show you now. We have to do this now. We're going to do this now as a good person, right? Objectively, a good person. A letter from your employer, a letter from your children's school to show that you volunteer and blah 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 blah, all this other stuff. So you can tell I'm not thrilled about this, but we have to do it, and we're going to do it, and we're going to make sure we have that in the application. So it doesn't really get to that. It doesn't get to the 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 visit to your neighbor.
Well, yeah, we know. I mean, we know what they're looking for. We know what they want to see, and we also know what they don't care about and what's going to be irrelevant to them. And so we're going to help you focus in on the things that we know will help. Oops.
Okay.
All right. My cue just went.
That's okay. Let me answer
way
Justin's
back
question.
here.
Justin has beautiful food there in his
Yes.
or her profile picture. If a judge grants adjustment of status in court and Department of Homeland Security waives appeal, can USCIS ICE ignore the order and not issue the green card? Can they? Can't they do anything they want now? I mean, wouldn't surprise me if that happened. I don't think that it makes sense for that to happen. I will say that if a judge grants adjustment of status and now it's time to produce the green card, when we've had cases like this, it does take some time for USCIS to produce that green card. So be patient. It could just be that and not just ignoring the judge's order. I would speak with your immigration attorney about that because again, when we've had cases like that, it does take some time to get that green card produced. So hang in there. Congratulations. I'm happy for you that the judge granted you adjustment of status. Okay.
Okay, we had a question over here about how long it takes to do a FOIA, and when would that come up? Why would somebody want to do that or need to do that?
Really great question. We are doing a lot of FOIAs. FOIAs are more important than ever now. I feel like we've said that. Like, now it's more important. It's so true. Because what a FOIA is for is that we request your record from USCIS, if it's appropriate, from Customs and Border Protection, ICE, EOIR. There's sometimes a reason that we have to request those records. And right now, if anyone says anything to us about, yeah, something happened to me, I remember being 10 years old and going to immigration court with my mom 20 years ago. We're going to do a FOIA. Okay. I don't know if you guys have seen people who have gone to their adjustment of status marriage-based interviews and the spouse is getting arrested on the spot because unbeknownst to them, they had a previous removal order. That is case number 2 for this administration. Like, anybody who has a previous deportation order, pick them up, arrest them, get them out of here, because they have been deported before. And we've spoken to people who were minors when this happened. It's absolutely unfair for this to be happening to them. And you need to get your records. It's so important. And that is what the FOIA is for. FOIA is not taking very long right now. It's a couple of months. It's a few months. It depends on the agency as well. I could be mixing it up with FBI background checks. Our attorneys and our paralegals are the ones who are requesting the FOIAs and the FBI background check. So I don't know how long it takes, but I know that it's a lot faster than it used to be. And I do believe that it's just a few months. So if you're asking about FOIA, that means you need to do a FOIA, and we can help you with that.
Right. And it's just one of the tools that we use to get all the information that we need. I mean, we're attorneys, and obviously we have a duty to the law. And so we're never going to advise people to do something that's unlawful. But at the same time, we can advise clients to not do something if we know it's going to cause a problem for them. And if you come to us to file something and we discover one of those red flags we talked about, and we realize, hey, taking this next step for you, let's say naturalization, is actually going to trigger a problem for you, we're going to tell you that. We're going to advise you, look, this is not a good move for you to make right now, or maybe ever. Just stick with where you are and you're fine. So we really need that information so that we can, fully evaluate your case. Okay.
And we don't do a FOIA for everyone, because if you don't tell us that something is going on, then we just don't do it. So
and Beth here said, I'm sorry, I meant favorite, not fever. I got to tell you, Beth, I like the fever lawyers more.
I do have a fever. Can I have some of that water, please?
I mean, I was just like, yeah, fever lawyers.
Great questions tonight, guys. And we started a few minutes early.
Late.
So we can. Sorry, late. See, it's almost 9.
Okay. Here's a question we have, and sadly we have variations on this question a lot too. Got married in my country, Trinidad, and my spouse is a U.S. citizen, but now has basically stopped going forward with the process, does not want to go forward. We see this from time to time, and we get this question from time to time. What is an option, perhaps?
So is
U.S. citizen has now ghosted her for 2 months. So and she's married to a U.S. citizen who she can't find now.
So there's not a lot you can do, because the petitioner is in charge of the petition, right? So even if your spouse files a petition for you and they think this is not going to work out, they're not serious people, right? They're people who play with other people's emotions. They get married. It's not serious to them. And say they file the I-130 petition, okay? And then they decide, I don't really want to do this. This is a mistake. They can withdraw the petition. You would have nothing to do with that. And then you have no case, unfortunately. So unless we have a VAWA situation, Violence Against Women Act situation here, it sounds like this person is outside of the United States. There's very little you can do. We cannot force a petition to go forward with a petition. They are, what I'm trying to say, I don't want to say king or queen of the petition. That's just, they are the ruler of the petition. They can give and take as they please when it comes to that petition. And even if it's an adjustment of status, and even if you're at the National Visa Center stage, they don't have to submit an affidavit of support. If the petitioner does not submit the affidavit of support, we cannot move forward with the case. And so, unfortunately, there's not too much that we can do.
Yeah, I hate to hear these I hate when we hear these situations. It's just unfortunate. We hear variations of this. The other variation we hear a lot is the U.S. petitioner who then starts to constantly use the case as leverage to, for all kinds of things. Every time there's a fight, they threaten to, withdraw the petition and this kind of thing. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, a couple more questions here.
Okay, we've got one here.
Rollins in the Omaha field office. Roland, we've been talking to you all night. You better get a lawyer for your interview or you are in trouble. Okay. Beth says, would you be able to please tell me when your case transfers to Nebraska Service Center? What does that mean? It could mean a couple of things. Number one, they could be shifting the work around. That could be the ultimate place where your case is going to be adjudicated. And so it just means that it's going somewhere else to be processed. And that somewhere else is the Nebraska Service Center. Okay. Want to grab a question?
Yeah, question over here is, can your sibling who is a U.S. soldier file for you?
So if your sibling is a U.S. soldier and a U.S. citizen, yes. U.S. citizens can petition for their siblings. kind of segues nicely into Rosalie's question, who says, congratulations, thank you for your service for 25 years. Thank you for coming to our live and thanking us for our service. It is a pleasure and an honor to serve all of you. But yes, you're Rosalie, and this person who's asking about their sibling who is a U.S. service person, if they are U.S. citizens, and Rosalie is a naturalized U.S. citizen, yes, you can file a petition for your sibling. I believe I'm guessing, I'm not going to guess, it's around $600, $645, I believe, is the I-130 petition right now.
Yeah, and as we said at the beginning, our office is in Virginia Beach, which is also right next to Norfolk. So we are in a military town big time. So we have a lot of clients who are in the military.
Yeah.
So we're very familiar with that. Those types of cases, a lot of friends who are in the military as well.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else over there?
No, you want to grab a question there? We're almost done here, guys. It's been great questions.
Will my husband's adjustment of status be affected if I move employer? He's under my EB3.
Sorry, I was not paying attention.
Will my husband's adjustment of status be affected if I move employer? He's under my EB3.
Will his adjustment of status be affected?
Mm-hmm.
He's under her EB3. So are you guys both adjusting through the EB3? A little bit confused. Yeah, I'm not sure. So if your husband has his own independent case of getting his green card, I don't think that's what the case is, because she mentions, but if he has his own independent green card case and he's in the adjustment of status process, which if that's the case, you should be too in the adjustment of status process, and that's fine. If you are on an EB3 case, and I think I would just have to have more information.
Yes.
And in order to properly answer the question. And you can reach out to us. We do employment-based cases.
Okay, anything else there on Facebook?
We have one more question. It's a long question. I'll go ahead and grab it since Carmen has been patient. Hopefully she's still here. My question is, my husband's been here almost close about 40 years. We've been married for 22. Congratulations. He got his own home, which he does pay taxes, and he's retired. He gets his Social Security. So I'd like to know, since I'm Puerto Rican, he gets his Social Security. How can I make them a citizen? Is that going to cost a lot? Is there a problem with that? He has a first step of dementia, so I want to know what we can do. So he's also all residential card that was given to him when he left Cuba. Okay. So husband is a lawful permanent resident. The question is there going to be a problem if he becomes a U.S. citizen? I think that's the question. And the question is somehow tied to his Social Security. So number one, I'm sorry to hear that your husband has dementia, but I'm not seeing a negative impact on Social Security if one files for U.S. citizenship and gets U.S. citizenship. So I'm not sure if that's the question. Will it cost a lot to become a U.S. citizen, for him to become a U.S. citizen? It really depends on how you define a lot. I don't think it costs a lot. Not because I have a lot of money, but the value of being a U.S. citizen versus the value of getting U.S. citizenship, for me, far outweighs our cost. And as far as how much it would cost, it really depends on the case. And so please, Ms. Jones, reach out to us. We'd be happy to consult with you. And I think that just for everyone, right? What is the value? Are you worried about how much it's going to cost? And if you are you taking into consideration what you're actually going to be receiving in return? So we strive to always give way more value than what we charge, right? So, and that's in terms of you're becoming a U.S. citizen because we helped you file your application. You are getting your permanent resident card because we filed consular processing for you or adjustment of status. Your mom is getting her green card because she came here on a tourist visa and decided that, gosh, I don't want to use my return ticket. I want to stay here with you because I want to be with my grandchildren. What is the value of that? For us, that's very, very high. And so I don't think it costs a lot, but I understand that we could be talking things. I just welcome you to give us a call, and we'd be so happy to help you.
All right. We are now 5 minutes over our 1 hour time. So we're going to have to,
9 minutes.
as our old friend Mel used to say, we're going to have to skedaddle out of here.
Yes. Thank you
All
so
right.
much, guys.
Thanks,
this
everyone,
is awesome.
For
it's the best
joining
one
us
yet.
tonight. Yep. 2 thumbs up. And we're going to go out with our daughter's song here. 2 thumbs up, everyone.
Is it playing?
Yeah. It's a techie.
Okay. You guys can listen to it while we're going to watch you guys leave or listen to it, but come back.
All right.
Next week.
We'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks for joining us on
Bye.
TikTok, everyone.
Take care. I think it's down. The end is down, I believe. Go full screen. You got it? You listen to the whole. I haven't ended because this is a great song, guys, right? I mean, this kid is talented. She's half Filipino, so she does know how to sing. And John's grandfather was a musician, so let me help out here a little bit. How do I? Here we go. What is this right here? Is this the expand button? Yeah. Oh wait, we could always close it.
Yep. We have to.
All right, guys, check out the song. Sammy Gardner, Dark Magic, just dropped today. See you guys for real.